Please stand by for our broadcast from the National Emergency Warning System.
G'day and welcome back to the channel. Today we have something very exciting, something I've been looking forward to for a long time. Today we're looking at the SEPECAT Jaguar jet. There are two jets, the French and the British SEPECATs will be added this patch. Very exciting, beautiful looking jet. This is going to add some fantastic ground attack capability to the British lineup. And the French lineup. A nice combination of bombs, rockets, missiles. These jets can do it all. We're not looking at a Phantom in the massive payloads, but we're looking like a baby Phantom almost in that regard. It's going to be fast, just over Mach 1, Mach 1.4 actually, I think. Good display of ordnance, which we'll go over shortly, and it is capable of defending itself in a dogfight. So, very excited. Let's have a look at what it says. The Jaguar was the result of a joint Anglo-French development project to design a new supersonic attack aircraft during the 1960s. Coming in hot with War Thunder, raining fire update, the highly anticipated Jaguar will soon be joining the top ranks of the British and French aviation trees. We have pros: high versatility, air-to-air missiles, and a fast ordnance. Cons: modest top speed at ground level. This is only going to really be a con depending on the BR that this aircraft gets. So that is what's going to be interesting. If this thing is over tiered, it's going to be a little bit painful. If it's tiered well, it is going to be phenomenal. So I am excited and looking forward to see where it's going to sit. In the early 1960s, both Great Britain and France were looking into procuring a new jet to trainer for their respective air forces. Despite differences in specifications and requirements, the two nations were united in their pursuit for such a new aircraft, thus leading to an agreement being signed in 1965, which would kick off development of what would eventually become the Jaguar. The Jaguar was being developed under a specially formed consortium of British and French aviation companies, namely Breguet and BAC, called SEPECAT. You can look up what the acronym stands for on your own. We promise you won't be disappointed though. SEPECAT stands for Société Européenne de Production de l'Avion, École de Combat et d'Appui Tactique. Nailed it, 100%. Perfect French. Continuing with the theme of the joint projects, Rolls-Royce and Turbomeca also joined forces to develop a new turbofan engine, the Adore, for the new aircraft. The first of the 8 prototypes for the Jaguar successfully conducted its maiden flight in September of 1968. Following the conclusion of further testing, the Jaguar went into production in 2 major variants, the Jaguar A being the modification used by the French, and the Jaguar S, or the Jaguar GR1, being the variant deployed by the RAF. Both variants of the machine entered production in the early 70s, with the first production models being delivered in 1973 and 1974. The Jaguar primarily served with France and Great Britain, most notably distinguished itself in action during the Gulf War in the 90s. However, Ecuador, Nigeria and Oman also operated modifications of the Jaguar, while India still operates the Jaguar to this day. In total, over 540 SEPECAT Jaguars were built. In War Thunder, the highly anticipated Jaguar is finally arriving to the top ranks of the French and British aviation trees with the release of the upcoming update Raining Fire. Thanks to its good handling and characteristics, adequate speed and vast array of secondary weapons options, Jaguar is set to become a crown jewel of the French and British attacker family for aircraft upon its arrival to the game. Jaguar is powered by a pair of Rolls-Royce Turbo Mecha Adore turbofan engines, generating up to 3,348 kilograms of force, with the afterburners engaged. As a result, the aircraft can reach a top speed of up to Mach 1.4, 1,670 kilometers an hour. Although not exactly matching the flight performance of some other machines found at top rank, it's worth noting that the Jaguar is an attacker first and foremost, with the ability to hold its own in a dogfight if necessary. As I said before, you got to remind yourself this is an attack aircraft with air superiority or fighter capability as a secondary role. But I am looking forward to it. I don't think it's going to be a disappointment. Having briefly touched on the Jaguar's combat capabilities, it seems appropriate to highlight the aircraft's most prominent and for the strike aircraft, most important aspects, namely firepower. Upon attaining the Jaguar, the machine comes outfitted with a pair of 30mm Aiden or DEFA cannons with 150 rounds of ammunition per barrel as standard. Being familiar to most pilots accustomed to the high-tier tech, these cannons pack a severe punch against the enemy and can even deal damage to armoured targets on the ground, provided the correct ammunition is being used. However, while the 30mm cannons are undoubtedly a useful tool to have on your disposal, it's the Jaguar's mounted weapon arsenal that will be responsible for dishing out the lion's share of damage to the enemy. Being able to be outfitted with a wide assortment of ordnance, ranging from guided air-to-air and unguided air-to-ground missiles, over bombs to rockets, the Jaguar is sure to offer its pilots always the right set of tools to tackle virtually any mission with success. The Jaguar is coming in hot with the release of War Thunder, Raining Fire update, and will soon reinforce the top rank of British and French aviation trees with an excellent jet attacker. This is sure to find many fans among War Thunder pilots. It really will. There's been a lot of demand for this aircraft, and it's exciting that it's finally going to be here. So just to expand, it didn't really cover what the armaments are on this aircraft, and I imagine I may be speculating, but it may be that they're not actually providing these aircraft with everything. It's going to be interesting to find out. The Jaguar features an all-digital cockpit in real life. Enclosed within a glass canopy, the cockpit is equipped with heads-up display, multifunctional display, night vision, and GPS. So it's going to be interesting to see whether they implement all this functionality into the cockpit of this aircraft. I strongly suspect perhaps not, but in the future that gives us something to look forward to. Other features include a helmet-mounted display, radar, altimeters, inertial navigation systems, automatic direction finders, information, friend or foe, weapons aiming computer, and digital data bus. So there it's got a ballistics computer, which is going to make this a fantastic ground attack aircraft. Get those bombs on target accurately, get those rockets on target accurately, without having to sacrifice speed for accuracy. So that's fantastic. Now, the armaments fitted to the ground attack aircraft. The Jaguar is armed with two 30mm DEFA cannons, which can fire, or in the British case, Aiden cannons, which can fire munitions at the rate of 150 rounds per gun. The aircraft has 5 hardpoints, 4 under the wings, and 1 under the center line pylon stations. It can carry up to 4,500 kilograms of payload. depending on the variant you've got and what they give us, the at least the RAF variant, which I'll show in a picture, can also mount missiles on top of the wings, which is unique, and I personally haven't seen another aircraft do it, and most definitely haven't seen anything in War Thunder do it, so it's going to be a bit of a novelty if it is there. The aircraft can accommodate AS-37 Martel anti-radar missiles, AS-30L laser-guided anti-ground missiles, and 2 R550 Magic air-to-air missiles on underwing pylons. It can also carry an AN-52 nuclear bomb, which obviously will not be in the game, 8 Matra rockets, BAP 100mm bombs, Matra AS-37 anti-radar missiles, which I suspect probably will not be in the game at this point, AIM-9 Sidewinder missiles, and Rockeye cluster bombs. I believe they were mostly stats for the French variant, and we know that the British variant can carry the 8 1,000-pound bombs and a collection of rockets and missiles as well. So that is a very exciting aircraft. I don't know about you guys, how excited are you about this one? Because I am pumped. I am really pumped about this aircraft. It is going to, in its own way, it's going to put France and Britain on a par with the best of them. So there it is, the SEPECAT Jaguar. Are you looking forward to this aircraft? Put some messages down below. Start a conversation about this thing. Are you excited? Is it going to be the first thing you're going to fly? How do you think it's going to perform in the game? Alright, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Thank you for watching the video. Please like and subscribe.